Morning guys, so I'm just making some new eco pigment colours and I'm just testing them like crazy, but I thought this would be really helpful to show you what happens if you don't mix your eco pour properly and thoroughly. You'll get marks and blemishes like this, so it needs longer stirring in the pot and then that won't happen. You'll get a nice smooth finish. But also if you don't tap your mould, this is what happens. You get lots of air bubbles and pits that rise to the surface, and it can be very annoying and can be a bit annoying when you've got to do lots of sanding to get those out. So when it's in, when you've just poured it, simply just do a few taps and those bubbles will start to pop. If you add too much pigment to the mix, you'll find that it comes out on your fingers. So always 2% or less pigment to your mix. If you've got 100 ml in total of powder and water, you're going to add no more than 2 grams of pigment. And finally, if you add too much pigment as well, what can happen is your piece, your ratio is not correct, and what happens is your piece will crumble and fall apart and it feels still quite damp and yucky. So that's too much pigment that's been added, and the water content doesn't evaporate sufficiently, so that is no good. And yeah, that's it really. Just make sure your room is nice and warm when it's curing and your pieces will come out perfectly.